So I think even if the nature of this shoe was that it would wear out quickly, that people would still repurchase it. This is just an idea. I'm not selling anything. I'm giving an idea. And that it would increase the quality of their life so much they would just be addicted to it. So I have searched for this. Maybe it does exist somewhere, but if it doesn't, I think it's a $1 million idea. I know that me and my friends very much would want it, and so I'll describe it first. And that's, while there are a lot of tennis shoes, athletic shoes that have a foam, cushiony bottom. If you've ever gone to a children's playground under the jungle gyms and in that area, there is what's called sometimes AstroTurf. It's a very bouncy, almost like a trampoline or a bouncy house, but more stable than that, turf. And it's thicker than what is traditionally under a running or, that kind of cushioned synthetic shoe. And so the idea is, so a lot of dancers often get different kinds of bottoms put on the bottom of walking shoes or dance shoes. Like they might get a good walking shoe or aerobics shoe and have a cobbler put a suede bottom on it. And so, there aren't a lot of cobblers that know how to do that. It's harder to find, but there still are many who know how to take the uneven surface of the shoe and glue something to it and make it sturdy and steady. But anyways, so taking a big chunk of the turf, the kind of turf that's in the children's playground, and affixing it correctly to the bottom of the shoe so it still would be stable. Meaning there's lots of these, athletic shoes that have these cushiony bottoms, but even though there's a little bit of a range, there are some that are thicker than others. There's none that have the total thickness and total bounciness of the same exact bounciness as the AstroTurf in children's playgrounds. Also, I don't know if on jogging tracks, sometimes they have that kind of turf too. Some athletic fields, I'm not sure if it's as bouncy as what's in children's playgrounds. But anyways, there might be some stability problems with people who have a larger than average bone and muscle density for the stability of the shoe, but that's for the person who would manufacture this to figure out. But a good cobbler could probably do it so that you needn't wait. But the point is it's so bouncy and so fun. And note that there are shoes called AstroTurf shoes, but they're not what I'm talking about. In fact, I think in some cases they're the opposite. There are shoes that are meant to help you be sturdy on AstroTurf. But there also are some another shoe. I'm not going to say the name, but I think it's somewhat awkward, and it's not a soft AstroTurf. It's a stiffer kind of plastic, and it raises someone up I think it's maybe a foot tall or something. So it's more risky for falling, and yet that shoe is tremendously popular. So there are people who want bouncy shoes, and if this shoe does not exist out there, I think that it would. I believe that it would make someone quite a lot of money, and if that's the case, I wish that I would have been able to give this idea to someone who would raise the money and put it directly towards people who need it most. But I have different kinds of ideas, and I'm not in touch with such a person. And as I mentioned, as part of the bounceopoleis theme, bouncing is great for health and immunity, well-being. It's been proven. So notes for people who want to be part of the Super Pioneer group. Number one, even though this is a tier 1 solution, you still have to do another tier 1 solution. It's different than the other tier 1 solutions. Also, another tier 1 solution would be to put me in touch with somebody who does raise, do big projects and raise money and give it directly to the people who need it rather than it going to a nonprofit, because nonprofits are important and it's important for everybody to have jobs, but the people who don't have the resumes and the experience to get a, desk job at a nonprofit are more at risk. And I'd like to be able to, when I have ideas that can raise large amounts of funds, more than any one person needs, I'd rather give it directly to someone like that. They would, however, because it's just the way I am, they would have to attend my groups and become a friend and me to know them first so that I would know that that's truly who they are. And for those listening who just want, the solutions, not interested in the Super Pioneer team, just a note that I do have lots of economic solutions and ideas in store, which I intend to share, whether or not I would be introduced to such a person. So if you're out of work or wanting to increase your income, check back. And I have a cornucopia of all sorts of things, which hopefully in trickles of time, I will be able to share with you all.